Hello everyone! Today I will show you how to play on the piano the composition of Hans Zimmer that is called Time. First I will show you how it sounds with both hands, and then I will show you very slowly the right hand, the left hand and both hands together. So that's how it sounds. Alright, so let's start. The right hand is the note C with the first finger, repeated 4 times. The next measure is the note G with the fifth, also repeated 4 times. But before you start, please print the sheet music that is below the video. You will find the link there, and even if you do not know the notes, the music notation, it will be very helpful to see the fingering, to see the number of notes and the number of measures. So please print the sheet music and it will be easier to learn. Okay, so that's the second measure. Then we have the note B with the first, repeated 4 times. And the measure number 4 is the note F sharp with the 4th finger, also 4 times. So please practice the right hand. Now I will show you the left hand for this part, which is only 1 note per measure. So the first note is A with the 2nd finger. The next measure is E with the 5th finger. Then we have the note G. I suggest to play it with the 1st finger. And the note D with the 4th. Okay, so both hands for this part. And the next 4 measures are almost the same, only the second of these 4 measures will be different. But the first one is exactly as before. And now this measure, number 6, will be different. The right hand plays B with the 5th finger 4 times, and the left hand plays the note C. So that's the 6th measure. And the next 2 measures are as before. So simply in this composition we have 4 measures that are repeated, except the second of the measure. So it means that we have 4 new measures and then they are repeated. Only the second of these measures is different. So now we have 4 new measures starting from the measure 9, and these 4 measures will also be repeated. So measure number 9, the right hand is the note C 4 times with the 1st finger. Then we have the chord B with the 1st and G with the 5th. And the note B is kept. We just repeat the note G 3 more times. Then we have B with the 1st 4 times. And the chord A with the 1st, which is kept, and F sharp with the 4th. First like this, and then F sharp is repeated 3 more times. So the right hand from the measure number 9. And the left hand for this part is the left hand is easy because these are just octaves. An octave on A, so with the 1st and with the 5th finger, and we keep it for the whole measure. Then the octave on E, next on G, and the octaves are always played with the 5th and with the 1st finger, and the octave on D. So both hands for this part from the measure number 9. So these were 4 measures that we also repeat at this part. So the first measure as before, like this. Only the second of the repeated measure is different. Here, this is the measure number 14. So the right hand plays the chord like this. So the first on C, the fifth on B. And in fact, we keep the note C, and the note B is played 4 times in total. And the left hand is the chord C and G, and this is kept for the whole measure. So the measure 14, and then 2 more measures as before. Okay, so now we are in the measure number 17. The right hand is like this, the chord, the first on A, the third on C, and the fifth on E. And if possible, just keep the note E with the fifth finger. And the rest is played like this. Then we play the first on A, the second on B, the first on A, the next measure, the chord like this. So we play the first on B, the third on E, and the fifth on G. So we play the chord like this, and we keep the note G with the fifth and the note E. If possible, we play then the first on B, the fourth on F sharp, and the third on E. So the measure 18. Next we have the chord G, B, D. So this chord. Then we keep the note D with the fifth, but we play the first on G, the second on A, the first on G, and then the chord, in fact, these 2 notes. So the first on A and the fifth on F sharp. We keep F sharp, but we play the first on A, the fourth on E, the third on D. So that was the a bit harder. Let me repeat from the measure 17, just the right hand. The left hand for this part, we play the chord A and E, so A with the fifth and E with the first. Next, the octave on E, then the chord G with the fifth and D with the first, so the chord like this, and an octave on D. Okay, so both hands. Okay, so these were 4 new measures, which will be now repeated except the second measure, but the first one is as before, so we play the measure 21, which is the same as 17. Now it will be a new measure, so the right hand plays the chord E with the first, G with the third, and B with the fifth, like this. We keep the note G and B, and we play again E with the first, then A with the fourth, G with the third, and the left hand in this moment play C and G. So the chord C and G, C with the fifth and G with the first. So measure 22 with both hands. Okay, so just practice this measure, and two more measures are as before, so you know it from the previous part. So measure 23 is exactly the same as 19. And the next measure is also as before. Okay, so we've done a lot. Now it will be the measure 25, the right hand. We play C with the third and we keep it, B with the second, A with the first, and we keep these two notes, A and C. And the measure 26 is an octave on a G. Next, the measure 27 is the third on B, and this note is kept. Then we play A with the second and G with the first, and we also keep these two notes for longer. And the measure 28 is an octave on F sharp. Okay, that was easy, but the left hand is a bit harder. From the measure 25, we have the chord A, C, E. So A with the fifth, C with the third, and E with the first. Like this, and we keep A and C. Then we repeat the first on E, and the second here on F sharp, like this. And the measure 26 is the chord E with the fifth and B with the second. So we play the chord and then we play the first on F sharp, the first on E, and the second on B. Next, the measure 27, we play the chord like this. So the fifth on G, the third on B, the first on D. So the chord like this. We keep the fifth finger for longer and we play the first with D, the first on D, and the second on E, like this. And then the notes, the fifth on A, the first on E, the second on D, the fifth on A, the fourth on B. Alright, I know it's a lot, so please stop the video and just practice up till this part. I will play very slowly both hands, starting from the measure 25, so this last part. Here again we have 4 measures that are almost the repetition of the previous 4 measures, only the second of these measures will be different. But first, the first one is the same, so we play as before. Now it's a new measure, it's measure number 30, and the right hand plays the chord like this. So the first on B, the third on a G, and the fifth on B, and this is kept for the whole measure. And the left hand plays the chord C with the fifth, E with the third, and G with the first. So we play this kind of chord. Then the second on A, and we keep the note C if possible. Then the first on G, and the second on F sharp. So this measure number 30 is like this. And then we have 2 measures that you already know, because these measure 31 and 32 are exactly the same as 27, 28. So we play like this. Okay, so now the measure 33. The right hand will be a bit faster, but with many repetitions. So 33 is like this. So okay, let me show you. We first play the chord, the first on A, the third on C, and the note C is kept for the whole measure with the third finger. Only here the first and the second finger play like this. So the note A played just once, and the note B played twice. So measure 33 is like this. So this figure is repeated 4 times in total. And the next measure is very similar, only instead of the note C, we play the note G with the 5th finger. So we play like this. Okay, the next measure, 35, is very easy because we have no note here in the upper part. We just play A and B 4 times, like this. And the measure 36, we play the note F sharp with the 5th, and here the figure is as before. So let me repeat the right hand from the measure 33. Okay, so the right hand probably should be practiced. I will show you the left hand. We play the chord A, C, E, so A with the 5th, C with the 3rd, and E with the 1st finger. Then we play the note B with the 1st, A with the 2nd, F sharp with the 3rd. Next, the measure 34, we play the chord like this, so the 5th on B, the 2nd on E, the 1st on G. So the chord like this. Next the chord, not the chord, but the note F sharp with the 1st finger, the 2nd on E, the 4th on B. The next measure 35, we play the chord, which is the 5th on B, the 3rd on so the 5th on G, the 3rd on B, and the 1st on D. And then the notes, the 1st on A, the 2nd on G, the 3rd on E. Okay, one more measure and I will play both hands for this part. So the measure 36, we start with the chord which is the 5th on A, the 2nd on D, the 1st on F sharp. So this is the chord. And then we play the 1st on E, the 2nd on D, the 5th on A, and the 4th on B. I will play both hands, but very, very slowly from the measure 33. Of course, before stop the video and just practice the left hand separately. It will be 4 measures that are the repetition of the previous 4 measures. So this measure is the same as before, only this second measure will be different. Let me show you the measure 38. The right hand plays first here the note B with the 5th finger, and then we play the note B here with the 1st finger 2 times. And then the rest is as before. So the right hand for the measure 38, we play like this, and the left hand for the measure 38 is the chord like this, so the notes G with the fifth, C with the second, and E with the first. Then we have the notes A with the first, G with the second, and F sharp with the third. And then we have two measures that you know already. So the measure 39 and 40, they are the same as 35 and 36. So if you have problems to find exactly where you are, just maybe you can write the numbers of measures above each measure. It really helps. So that was the part from the measure 37 till 40. Let's continue. The measure 41, the right hand is easy. These are just octaves, so we play the octaves with the first and with the fifth finger. First on C, the next measure is on G, next an octave on B, and octave on F sharp, like this. And the left hand for this part, each note or the chord is repeated twice. So first we play A twice, then the chord B and C. So B with the second and C with the first, and this is repeated. Then the note C is played during whole measure with the first finger, but the second finger plays different notes. So then we play A with the second and C with the first twice. And then we play F sharp with the fourth and C with the first as before, also twice. So the measure 41 left hand is like this. The next measure 42 is also with every note or chord repeated twice. So first we play E with the fifth two times, then we play the chord F sharp G. So F sharp with the second and G with the first twice, then the chord E with the second and the G with the first also twice, and then the chord B and the G, so B with the fifth and G with the first, and we play it also twice. So the measure 42 is like this. Next we have the measure 43, we play G with the fifth twice, the chord A and B twice, with the first and second finger. Then we play the chord D with the fifth, B with the first, also twice, and the chord E with the fourth, B with the first, and we also play it twice. Okay, let's continue. The measure 44, we play D twice with the fifth finger. Then we play the chord E with the second, F sharp with the first, also twice. Then we play the chord D with the second, F sharp with the first, twice. So we play like this. And then we play just once the chord A and F sharp. This is the chord. And just once the chord B with the fourth and F sharp with the first. So we play like this. Alright, so just practice the left hand. Now I will play both hands from the measure 41, very, very slowly. and the next four measures are almost exactly the same. The first measure is exactly the same, so let me repeat it. Now the second measure is different. It's like this. So the right hand is an octave on B, and this is kept the whole measure. And the left hand is like this. So we play the fifth on C, the second on B, the first on C, and we simply keep, if possible, this fifth finger, and we play like this, and we repeat the notes B and C. Then the first finger plays the note C, but the second finger plays the note A twice, then similar but the note G also twice, and similar chord but the second finger plays the note F sharp. So this is the measure 46. And then two more measures are as before. It means the measure 47 and 48 are exactly the same as 43 and 44. So let me play them. Okay, so now it's the measure 49. The right hand is quite easy. We have the octaves. First an octave on C, then on B, and a single note with the second finger on E, an octave on G, next an octave on F sharp, and on B. Then the measure 51, we repeat an octave on B, next an octave on A, and the note D with the second finger, and the measure 52, it's an octave on F sharp, next an octave on E, and an octave on A. And we almost finished this part and this composition, but let me repeat the right hand from the measure 49. Okay, the left hand is rather more difficult, I will show you, but there are many repetitions. So the first measure, 49, we play these notes that they are repeated 4 times. So we play the fifth on A, the third on C, the second on E, the first on A. It's played rather quickly and it's repeated 4 times. So just practice. The next measure, number 50, we play similarly 4 notes 4 times also. So we play the notes E with the fifth, B with the third, E with the second, and G with the first finger. And we play it 4 times. Then we play the notes, the fifth on G, the third on B, the second on D, the first on G, and we also play it 4 times in total. And then the measure 52, we play the notes, the fifth on D, the third on F sharp, the second on A, and the first on D, and we play it 4 times. Okay, so with both hands from the measure 49. these 4 measures are repeated. Of course, the second measure will be different, but the first one is the same. So that was the measure 33. Now the measure 50, that was 53. Now the measure 54 will be different. An octave on B, next an octave on G, and an octave on C. The left hand plays these 4 notes, which means the 5th on C, the 3rd on G, the 2nd on C, and the 1st on E. So we repeat it 4 times. So with both hands we play like this. The measure 54. Measures are as before, so the measure 55 and 56 is exactly the same as 51 and 52, so you know them. Okay, so now we are almost finished. Just an ending of single notes. I will show you both hands because they are quite easy. Starting from the measure 57, the right hand the 1st on C and the left hand the 5th on A. So we play like this. And then both hands an octave up. So we move up. Then the right hand the 1st on G and the left hand the 5th on E. And we move an octave up. Then the measure 59, we play the right hand the 1st on B and the left hand the 5th on G, and we move then an octave up. Then the right hand the 1st on F sharp, the left hand the 5th on D, and then we play an octave up. Then it will be quite similar, but let me show you. We play the right hand on C with the 1st and the left hand the 5th on A, and we also move an octave up. Then we play, the left hand will be the 5th on C, but the right hand will be just here with the 5th finger up on B, and the right hand will be exactly the same, and the left hand an octave up, like this. Then we play the left hand the 5th on G, and the right hand the 1st on B, and we move an octave up. Then we play the left hand the 5th on D, and the right hand the 3rd on F sharp. We move the left hand an octave up, and the right hand is as before. Okay, and now we have the measure 65. We play the left hand the 1st on A, and the right hand the 1st on C. Then the left hand the 3rd on E, and the right hand the 5th on G. Then the left hand the 1st on G, and the right hand the 1st on B. Then the left hand the 4th on D, and the right hand the 4th on F sharp. Then we have the first fingers, the left hand on A, the right hand on C. Then the 5th fingers, we have the left hand on C and the right hand on B, like this. Then we have the first fingers, the left hand on G, the right hand on B. And the last measure, we play with the 4 fingers, the left hand on D and the right hand on F sharp. And we keep as long as we feel that we want to keep it. And in fact, that's the end of this composition. But let me play from the beginning very, very slowly with both hands. So that was the composition Time of Hans Zimmer. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson and thank you very much for learning with me.